Jurassic World, like all sequels or prequels or sidequels or adaptations of literally anything, is littered with Easter eggs and references to the larger Jurassic Park universe. So let's get into it. Bearing in mind, as always, that there will be spoilers, so many spoilers. As many spoilers as you can think of. And then 2 more spoilers on top of that. A lot of the Easter eggs and references relate directly to the first film, so let's start with that. In the new Visitors Center, we see a statue of InGen founder John Hammond. A lot of his philosophies are still seen in the attitude of Mr. Masrani. Mr. DNA makes a brief and welcome return, and so does a holographic Dilophosaur, the field-neck dinosaur that killed Newman as he made a break for the docks.
Hello, Newman.
Hello, Jerry.
Jake Johnson's character, with his original Jurassic Park t-shirt, is also kind of like the reverse Dennis Nedry, with his selfless actions. But what they do share in common is people's disdain for their messy desks.
What a complete slob.
Chaos Theory, something Ian Malcolm wouldn't stop banging on about, is also visually represented by having 2 drops of blood fall on one of the containment soldiers' wrists, with each producing a different result. A similar but less gruesome version of this was done on the very first Jurassic Park tour. We also saw the original Visitors Center, now reclaimed by the jungle, inside of which we see the remnants of the T-Rex/Raptor battle, including some disassembled dinosaur skeletons, some Raptor art, and that fluttery banner. The maintenance shed also contains some early 90s equipment, including a pair of night vision goggles similar to what Tim used, and some of the original Jeep Wranglers, which nowadays will set you back about, I don't know, 10 to 15 grand? Less, if some idiot decided to paint flames all over it. The one that ends up getting repaired is Jeep 29, and is the one used to transport John Hammond and Donald Gennaro from the helipad to the Brachiosaurus. Jurassic World also deliberately shares a similar release date to Jurassic Park. The scene of the dinosaur massacre is filmed about 200 yards away from where the Gallimimus Stampede was filmed, and the I-Rex sphere attack is a homage to the original T-Rex car attack. It even has a moment where the broken sphere crashes down on top of them, the same way that that car did after Alan Grant and Tim leaped from the tree. The only returning cast member that is human, but we'll get to that, is B.D. Wong as Henry Wu. He makes a subtle nod as to why the dinosaurs don't look like dinosaurs should, mentioning something about how they've been designed to appeal to the public and that what people's perceptions of them already are. Tweaks are also probably made to those in the petting zoo to ensure that it only features docile animals, and possibly the same thing was done with the larger herbivores, which may explain why the Stegosauruses aren't all like this, like they were in the Lost World. Unless that was only because those ones were protecting a baby. I don't know, they've got tiny brains. They probably don't have too many complex thoughts. Although Alan Grant and Ian Malcolm weren't present, Chris Pratt's character Owen was written to share traits of both. That being having a love and respect for dinosaurs, yet at the same time the uncanny ability to point out when bad things will happen, and then those bad things subsequently happen. Malcolm, though, does appear in the viral marketing, sort of. It's revealed that he wrote a book titled God Creates Dinosaurs, and at one point we see a girl on the monorail reading that same book. There's also a fan theory that Owen is the same boy that Alan Grant terrified in '93, all grown up and clearly taken to heart his words of wisdom, I guess? I don't know, that seemed more like a very thinly veiled threat. But it makes sense though, because in Jurassic World he's always banging on about respecting raptors, and also he would have been around the same age that that kid is now. Chris Pratt, when asked this very question, didn't want to answer, saying the speculation of it all is too much fun. And the original actor who plays him claims that the role is his. Damn it! Now, as many people already know, the T-Rex scene in this film is the very same from the first. It's still fed the same way, goat on a chain, classic, and can be easily lured by using flares. It even bears the scars of its raptor fight from all those years ago. This movie does largely ignore the 2 Jurassic Park sequels, but it does include a Spinosaur skeleton in the Jurassic World Main Street? Is that what this is called? I don't know. I should point out that those movies are canon, but not important or good enough for a mention. In your face. Those movies. At the beginning of the film, we see Gray looking at images of what looks like The Lost World, a 1925 silent film that influenced Spielberg growing up, and whose title is shared with the Jurassic Park sequel movie and book. Spielberg's first commercial hit, Jaws, is also homaged, with great white sharks being used as food for the Mosasaurus. Brad Bird, another person who directs films, is the announcer on the monorail, and Stan Winston, who pioneered a bunch of iconic effects, including those used in The Terminator, Aliens, and Jurassic Park, gets a nod, with a steakhouse being named after him. It even has the Chilean sea bass. Good stuff. Now, the Indominus Rex. It may be a coincidence, but the idea of crossbreeding dinosaurs was seen in the late 90s Jurassic Park toy line Chaos Effect, which was originally to be released alongside a cancelled Jurassic Park TV show. Now, the thing that most closely resembles it is something called the Ultimasaurus, a mix of T-Rex, Stegosaurus, Triceratops, Ankylosaurus, and Velociraptor. If you're interested, the Indominus Rex is an unhealthy and terrifying mixture of T-Rex, Carnotaurus, Gigantosaurus, Ablosaurus, Majongasaurus, Rugops, that's a shit name for a dinosaur, Velociraptor, plus non-extinct creatures like the cuttlefish to explain its camouflage ability, and the snake to explain its snake-like tenacity. Dinosaur hybrids were also an idea that was floated in one of the potential Jurassic Park 4 scripts, including one that features multiple dinosaurs spliced with human DNA. Like your mum! Ha! Nah, she's alright. That version was also to include a militarized dinosaur force, much like the TV show Dino Riders, but more accurately, like what Vincent D'Onofrio's character was trying to achieve. You know, that guy who thought that a loose dinosaur is a more effective weapon than a drone strike. That is an incorrect thing to think. Just a couple more quick things. A rocket launcher was used to try and take down the I-Rex. This was also a weapon of choice in the Jurassic Park book. Muldoon actually ended up taking the leg off a raptor with one. And finally, the way that the Indominus Rex escaped its enclosure by creating a diversion is similar to how the Velociraptors set a trap for Muldoon, luring him into the jungle, then moving in for the kill. I don't understand how people would fall for either of these things, but I guess people in movies are idiots. But also, people in real life are bigger idiots? Thanks everyone. Now if you liked this, I've got a bunch of these videos, the playlist of which I'll link at the end of this video, along with an animated version of the first and cancelled Batman v Superman movie, brought to life with animation. Also have a podcast called The Weekly Planet. It was recently endorsed by none other than, oh I don't know, Jason Biggs. Sure, why not? Like I said, all those things linked at the end of this video and below. But what was your favourite Easter egg or reference from Jurassic World? And if I've missed anything, which I most certainly have, please feel free to leave your thoughts below. Alright, thanks everyone, take care.